Hello and good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here with you for day 2 of the Pacific Offshore Wind Conference. Thank you all for attending as we turn this afternoon really firmly into the energy benefits of offshore wind. To start off with, I'll note that a few months ago, I had a chance to join the California delegation to the United Kingdom to learn about the offshore wind industry as it's developing in that country. It was really amazing to have a chance to see some of these awe-inspiring floating machines out in the sea, and really fascinating to learn about the UK government's ambitions and about the supply chain development that is ongoing there as many companies in the oil and gas sector in Scotland, for example, are looking at investing to become parts of the supply chain for offshore wind. Similarly, last year I had a chance to join a US delegation to Denmark. And again, it was wonderful to see manufacturing facilities, the Esbjerg port, and an offshore wind farm. There's no replication that you can really have for seeing these machines in action at scale. It's a tremendous sight and demonstrates for us that the technology is real. And that's a very exciting prospect for a new energy technology, and it's a really exciting prospect for us in California. I don't want to overlook the real challenges, the real technical challenges that need to be resolved in order to get this technology into the deep waters of the Pacific here in California. But if there's anything that I learned working in the autonomous vehicle industry, it's that any technical challenge short of teleportation, can be overcome. I do want to take a moment here to turn us towards this afternoon's discussion that's going to be really firmly focused on the energy aspects of the offshore wind industry. And we've been talking a lot for the last day and a half about all of the puzzle pieces that we know are going to need to come together in order to get steel in the water right here in California. And I want to recognize that there are significant logistics and investment challenges that present real questions that need answers in order to unlock this industry in this state. I also want to acknowledge all of the work that stakeholders are doing to keep moving the ball forward, having discussions about community needs, about tribal interests, and about the benefits that this technology can bring in terms of economic development to communities in our state. And I also want to take the moment to widen the frame of our puzzle so that we start thinking about the energy-specific components of this puzzle. And that's what we focus on at the PUC day in and day out. We are really looking to make sure that we have an energy system here in California that meets 4 key pillars. It's a safe system, a reliable system, an affordable system, and one that meets our climate goals. I'm going to repeat those 4 because they're really important, and I think they really frame what our next panels are going to talk about. It's got to be safe, reliable, affordable, and it's got to meet our climate goals. There are serious investment needs in order to meet these key pillars. When we talk about safety, many of you know, probably all of you know at this point, that wildfire safety on the electric grid is a really critical component of how we're engaged in energy planning. And it's a really key piece of what we have to do and investments that we need to make on the system to reduce risk. Reliability, likewise, requires a lot of investment in order to get where we're going. When we talk about electrifying lots of new energy end uses, we're going to need investments in energy resources and distribution capacity to make sure that we're able to connect those new loads and power them. Similarly, our climate goals are going to require replacing older infrastructure with newer and cleaner infrastructure. All of these investments are going to put pressure on affordability. There used to be a time in California where we would say, our rates are high, but our bills are low. But that's no longer the case. People are struggling with their energy bills, and they're contributing to a cost of living that is challenging for many families in the state. And we need to make sure that our energy system is serving them in a way that they can afford and they can still live in house and home, feed their families. With that, I will say that I think offshore wind can be part of our solution to creating an energy system that is safe, reliable, and affordable, and meets our climate goals for the future. I'm really excited to turn this over to the next panel that's going to dive into detail about how that can happen. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you, to learning from our global partners, and I want to thank you for joining us for this day too.